Good evening. Welcome. This is True Reporting. So, I am totally blown away by the Q post today. I'm still almost kind of trying to comprehend it all. I'm sure you guys are too. A lot of truth has come forward. Another thing that is on my mind very heavily is the word false flag being thrown around in regards to Florida. I understand false flag does mean casualties. I do understand that false flag means that sometimes no one is injured, no one is killed, and the whole thing is fabricated. That is just a drill. But I was sent clips today that were very real. And it's extremely upsetting because I know that this can be prevented, and it's not through gun control, and it's not through throwing the word false flag around and saying that this could have not happened at all. Because if you take a step back and away from the arguments you're getting into with your friends and family and people online about gun control and about whether it's real or fake that this occurred today or yesterday, then if you really truly step back, you'll understand that the division between you and your family and you and your friends, that's the real problem. That the elite, the ones that are causing this epidemic of depression and anxiety and sadness and anger and frustration, this is the real true problem. That you cannot discuss banning weapons, nor discussing if something really truly happened or not and what can fix that, because you're too busy arguing. And you don't take the step back to realize that you are manipulated into this argument without even realizing it. And I realized that today with people on my Facebook that were freaking out about this, arguing about these exact same things. And all of this can be prevented. It could have all have been prevented if we weren't so manipulated. Now, with that being said, I'm going to step down off my soapbox and get into these Q posts. If this takes a while, I apologize, but the stuff that he's put out to us today, it's only going to get extremely more in depth. And also, it's going to get extremely more put into layman's terms so that we can all understand. So, let's get into this, okay? Post 765. Newsweek problems. Strike back against us. So, the Newsweek article says how the storm is the biggest fake news story of all time. Strike back against us. MSN not happy? Conspiracy label. Sorry. Reread crumbs. Reference conspiracy MSM coverage. So basically, what this is saying, if you go into this article, and I'll post it in the description below, that this is basically saying how Q is not real, and that we're all following a conspiracy, and we're all in line with this one conspiracy. But as that backfires on them, and I'll tell you how it does, is because more people will look into Q. They'll look into this whole phenomenon, and that's just more eyes on it. That's more availability. That's more coverage on to this subject. Not everyone is blind. They're not all blind. And once they get a glimpse into what everyone's talking about, then they're on the right track. They're somewhat awakening, and they're sent down a path, the same path I was on, the same path you were on. And they'll follow this path until they're truly enlightened. Again, this is not a physical path we are all on. I think a lot of you think that. Maybe you don't. But this is a spiritual path. This is for us to awaken the ones who are asleep. We are here for purpose. Trust me. If you follow the Q post, they are telling you that also. So let's continue. Who will be next? They are here. Okay. So I'm going to go out on a limb right now. And when they are talking about conspiracy, who will be next? They are here. They will try to discredit. They are here. Who are here? I'm going to go out and I'm going to say extraterrestrials. If you followed the Calm Before the Storm stream today, Dr. Corsi was talking about UFOs and extraterrestrial disclosure. And he was saying that he does speak with the president. He has spoken with him. Maybe not day to day, but he does speak with him. And he says that the president wants to know and is eager to know and to share with us alien and UFO disclosure. So, the whole conspiracy label, who will be next? Could it be extraterrestrials? They are here. They will try to discredit. They are stupid. They bring more eyes. So, I could be completely wrong on that, or I could be close to being right. They'll discredit the whole ET theory, which won't be a theory because it'll show up on your doorstep. It'll show up in your TVs, on your cell phones. Anyways, the proofs are important. Proofs provide new eyes' ability to question. This board in the coming months will be This board in the coming months will be spread and discussed across all platforms. Important to be prepared. We will help. Truth always wins. Again, truth is all capitalized. Truth is the light, the spirituality, the good on this 3D realm. I'm getting esoteric today. I don't give a damn. These posts really struck me today. So, this board in the coming months will spread and will be discussed across all platforms. I truly believe that too. Okay, so then he posts 766, a YouTube video. We can look into this real quick. I haven't looked at these things. I've kind of gone over it. It's only 42 seconds.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, well, what do you make of that? Maybe they were feeling extremely patriotic. They are. We should be. I guess that's just to get the point across. Maybe just, here's a video. Who knows? Here's a video of the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, so an anonymous posted towards Trump, or Trump. Was that a Freud slip? That was weird. Okay, to Q. It said James Dolan, dead suicide. Aaron Swartz, dead suicide. Kevin Paulson turned over secure drop to freedom of the press. Secure drop, freedom of the press. Freedom of the press. John Barlow, Snowden, Assange, John Cusack, Daniel Ellsberg, Glenn Greenwald, and Laura Poitras. Snowden, Cusack. Things that can and cannot be said. Daniel Ellsberg, Pentagon Papers. Glenn Greenwald / Snowden, The Guardian. Laura Poitras and Snowden, the program William Binney. John Barlow, Vice President, Algae Systems, treating wastewater. Barlow Clark, Burning Man. General Clark, anti-Trump. Westpac supports Clintons. I think the key is the media changed the narrative using Secure Drop, which is dedicated heavily by Snowden. The big question: who controls Snowden? I think the key is the media changing the narrative using Secure Drop. So Secure Drop was created to, I think it's a safe place for anonymous people to drop intel and for it not to be covered up or deleted, which is dedicated heavily by Snowden. So does that make you think that Snowden's a white hat? I've heard arguments he's a black hat, or working for both sides, a gray hat. James Dolan, this is Q responding. James Dolan, dead suicide. Aaron Swartz, dead suicide. Kevin Paulson turned over Secure Drop to freedom of the press. John Perry Barlow, 187, post name drop in brackets. 187 is murder. At Snowden, you are now a liability. So I've heard people talk about this. He's a liability to who? The good or the bad? We do not know. We can't tell within this context. So I guess the future proves past, right? We'll have to just find that out. So 768 at Jack. Jack is, okay, we're gonna have to get nitty and gritty. I know Jack is, I think the creator or the CEO of Twitter. CEO of Twitter. Jack Dorsey. Okay, I was right. Cool. At Jack Dorsey. Civilian puppet. Player in the game. We play for keeps. Need help sleeping? How was your meeting with Pelosi? Protection offered? Life lesson: be smarter than those controlling you. T-minus 1234. Cheers, Patriots. I'm through with my work week. Okay. So, I'm going to get esoteric again with you guys. Need help sleeping. I think this isn't in regard to the way I thought of it. I thought of it as these people cannot sleep because they're worried in a physical manner. But I think that on a spiritual level, on the inside and in their dreams, that they are not able to sleep because of nightmares. I think maybe Q, if you look into Thomas Paine and on the spirituality of all of this, that I think this cabal, this evilness is being infiltrated by good, and it is giving them nightmares because they know that they are on the brink of falling into the abyss. I truly believe that. So, how was your meeting with Pelosi? Protection offered. Life lesson: be smarter than those controlling you. T minus 1234. So the people that are controlling, you know, Q always says that these people are dumb, these people are stupid. So you got to be smarter. So we can look into Jack Dorsey, Pelosi meeting. I doubt anything will come up. Yeah, it goes back to let's see what this says. What's this? So this person says Q's latest MK Ultra warning to Jack Dorsey. I don't know. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. Not yet. 769. Read very carefully. Unreleased, classified at the highest. Ability to use frequencies, incoming signal, modify, code, program, over, X period, designate, mobile phone to control target subject. Original post conducted, origins outside of the US, car control, statement by the driver, fairy tale, as the world turns, this is bigger than anyone can imagine. Okay. So read very carefully. I'm going to post this in, this is just hearings of MK Ultra. I mean, this is all coming out. I can't understand how this is not blowing minds right now. Even though you had the thought that MK Ultra could be real, this military intelligence is verifying it for you. So it literally is coming true. So he says, unreleased, classified at the highest. Ability to use frequencies, incoming signal to modified code program over a time period designated. So X, I believe, is with someone who takes a medication, and over this time period they're under a medication which is designated by either a doctor that's within the know that is telling them that this is the person we're going to go after, that this is the person that we're going to MK Ultra, and they're going to go into this school and shoot this school up, or they're going to go into a crowd of people and drive a car into 30 people, and so on and so forth, or they're going to bomb the Boston Marathon. Okay? So we can look into this. I don't want this to be too long, because I feel like if I go over 20 something minutes, a lot of people back out. And I mean, how can this not be under 20 minutes, you know? Or under 30 minutes, right? Rather. So this is an MK Ultra PDF. I haven't even read it. My computer is going ridiculously slow. I've noticed this when I would upload videos on YouTube. They would be like 13-minute videos, but it would take like 2.5 hours, which is never the case. This must be a huge file for it to take this long. Alright, we'll come back to it. Okay, original post conducted, origin outside of the US, car control. Car control, YouTube video. So we'll check this one. How long is this video? 2 minutes 19 seconds. Oh, isn't this when the president rolls up? Yeah. Vehicle attempt. I remember seeing this.
actually tack welded shut. Right there. You can see the little silver spots around the edges. Alrighty. Coming in thick here. There he is. There's the beast. Oh. Oh my gosh. Look at that car that just came out of the woods. Oh. That car right there just drove out of the woods. What? Are you serious? Yes. Somebody's going to jail. Right on the wood.
Wow. I haven't seen that in a long time. That's crazy. So is that coincidence? Car control? Is that what he said? Car control? Statement by the driver. Fairy tale? As the world turns, this is bigger than anyone can imagine. Okay, so let's get back into the joint hearing. Select Committee of Intelligence, Subcommittee Health and Scientific Research, Committee on the Human Resources, United States Senate, 95th Congressional, first session. Okay, so this is huge. Project MK Ultra, the CIA's program of research in behavioral modification. Oh my God. Okay, I just stopped right here. Other experiments were equally offensive. For example, heroin addicts were enticed into participating in LSD experiments in order to get a reward. Heroin. I'm gonna post this. I might do another video of this because the destruction of MK Ultra files in 1973. The 1963 report of MK Ultra by the Inspector General notes on page 14, present practice is to maintain no records of the planning and approval of these test programs. This is all real. I'll definitely post that, okay? So let's go over to here, 770. I really want to statement by the driver. I'm gonna have to just I'll have to post it later to let you guys look into it. I just don't want this video to go too long. Okay, Project MK Ultra. The CIA convinced the Allen Memorial Institute to allow a series of mind control tests on 9 patients in the Montreal school as part of their ongoing Project MK Ultra in brackets 7. The experiments were exported to Canada when the CIA recruited Scottish psychiatrist Donald Ewan Cameron, creator of the psychic driving concept, which the CIA found particularly interesting. Cameron had been hoping to correct schizophrenia by erasing existing memories and reprogramming the psyche. He commuted from Albany, New York to Montreal every week as he was paid $69,000 from 1957 to 1964 to carry out MK Ultra experiments there. In addition to LSD, Cameron also experimented with various paralytic drugs as well as electroconvulsive therapy at 30 to 40 times the normal power. His driving experiments consisted of putting subjects into drug-induced comas for weeks at a time, up to 3 months in one case, while playing tape loops of noise or simple repetitive statements. His experiments were typically carried out on patients who had entered the institute for minor problems such as anxiety disorders and postpartum depression, many of whom suffered permanently from his actions. His treatments resulted in victims' amnesia, forgetting how to talk, forgetting their parents, and thinking their interrogators were their parents. Oh my God, these people are crazy. When lawsuits commenced in 1986, the Canadian government denied having any knowledge that Cameron was being sponsored by the CIA, in brackets 11. 40 years of the Fifth Estate, MK Ultra, these are just links. Have any recent, in brackets, shooters received, this is Q, okay? Have any recent shooters received therapy in the past? Be the autist we know you are. You were chosen for a specific reason. Have any shooters received therapy in the past? If you look into Mayo clinics, I know I've talked this over with a friend. If you look into Mayo clinics, and I know Q has referred to these things, Mayo Clinic. So basically, it's an outpatient clinic. There are over 70 communities in Iowa, Georgia, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Let's just look at the Wikipedia. Mayo Clinic, a non-profit medical practice and medical research group based in Rochester, Minnesota, and employs more than 4,500 physicians, scientists, and 58,000 administrative and allied health staff. The practice specializes in treating difficult cases through tertiary care. It spends over $660 million a year on research and employs over 3,000 full-time research personnel. So, example of tertiary care services are cancer management, neurosurgery, cardiac surgery, plastic surgery, treatments for several severe burns, advanced neonatology services, palliative, and other complex medical and surgical inventions. So basically, if you look in a lot of these people who get therapy, they get on medication, things for anxiety, depression, schizophrenia. They go to these Mayo clinics, which are basically just a rotating door, just like your general practitioner. I think now the laws where I am, the laws have changed where you have to see a psychiatrist to get these pills like Xanax or Klonopin, these psychoactive drugs. So you have to go through that now. But yeah, I mean, look into these people. Have any of the recent shooters received therapy in the past? Be the autist we know you are. You were chosen for a specific reason. Again, on yesterday's podcast, I talked about, or 2 or 3 ago, I talked about autism. Why is he specifically targeting these autists? Because they can retain so much memory, because they can research and obtain what is being told to them. They can break it all down. Pretty incredible. I would like for someone to kind of go into that, and I'll definitely talk back with you. $771. Have any recent shooters ever received discoveries must be Discoveries must be organically. Hive mind. I mean, I totally understand that. That this is needs to be spread through love and understanding and compassion. We are all made of love. I don't want to get too hippie with you because I know a lot of people do not like that. But discoveries must be organically spread. Hive mind. We are all made of love and kindness and understanding and compassion, and we must wake our fellow humans up. The fellow population that we live next door to. Once we get a chance just to get an urge to help them, we should. Even these people, if they're extremely liberal, if they're extremely conservative, extremely religious, extremely, against, if they're just atheists or agnostic, just try and help them. Just planting that seed can go a long ways, right? So 772. Just throwing out a little more info. Don't even know if it has relevance. Cell phones were originally analog. The switch over to digital was very gradual. Digital signals allow for much greater distance to be covered on much less power, thus miniaturizing of phones because of the nature of the square digital waves. Much more effective in filtering noise and interference. This inherently means that the phones of today are going to be square wave signals and very low power. If that alone were enough, Q would not exist. They would simply shut him, in quotations, them and or us down. So they may act as a trigger, but are not enough by themselves to completely program a human. And Parkland would suggest that you really need someone who is largely predisposed. They're talking about Parkland in Florida, I believe, toward moving in the desired direction to begin with. You cannot just flip a switch and a born pacifist suddenly becomes a Rambo. Talk to me, Johnny. Q responds, what 3 scientists were killed who were researching the SAT relay of mobile phone signal to end users? Why was the research deemed classified? Learn. All right, let me fill you in on something that was brought to my attention. So, these cell phones, these scientists that were looking into researching the power of the digital signals, of the power of the digital signals, they looked into this and realized that, oh my God, they are way more powerful than we knew, and they are being picked up by every person who owns Samsung or an iPhone, an Android or iPhone. These signals are way more powerful than they were told. And they found this out. What happened to them? They're gone. And this research is deemed classified because these researchers, these scientists stumbled upon this and they were killed, and it was covered up alongside the information that they came across. That is what happened. Learn Q. So I'll be honest with you, I have an iPhone and I'm going to be done with it. I'm going to get a flip phone, and I also worry about the television too, because I'm not being some kind of psychopath about this. I am literally getting rid of this stuff because I really believe that there is a signal coming from these devices. Why else would it be so forced upon us? We see the brainwashing. What can happen? Think of Florida. Okay? Think of all these these 17 school shootings, and it's February of this year. 773. Are all Anons safe? Q replies, yes. Target subjects are disposable to certain mental illnesses. Target subjects are scouted over a period of time to study and arrange therapy. Therapy takes X to break the mind into functional programmable devices. Science fiction, Q. So basically, this is what he's saying. Target subjects are disposable to certain mental illnesses. Depression, anxiety, what have you. Target subjects are scouted over a period of time to study and arrange a therapy. So they go to a therapy, to a doctor, and then they take X in brackets, which is medication to break the mind into a functional, programmable device. My best friend, who is a pharmacist, is and has told me that the medications that people take are 90% placebo effect and maybe 10% medical effect. They don't even know what they're giving us. They are just one person on the conveyor belt handing over medication that they are told through schooling that this is what this thing does. Give it to this person to fix this said problem. So, what I am saying is, you do not know what you are taking. I do not know what I am taking. I am told that this helps me, but 90% of it is placebo. Trust me, I know from experience. 774. MK Ultra was a success and went into implementation. It is just no longer called MK Ultra. That was the developmental program name. Q responds, why is Big Pharma essential? Expand your thinking past cures. Think Google, new Pixel phone. Think Apple versus Samsung. Why was BlackBerry destroyed? We can guide you, but you must organically uncover the truth. They are watching. Archive everything offline. Okay, let's dive into this one. Why is Big Pharma essential? Think past cures. So this isn't thinking like past before. This is thinking don't think cures. Why is Big Pharma essential? Do not think cures. Think brainwashing. Think the medicine you are given, whether it be said A, B, or C problems you have, and think of what you have in your hand always. This phone. If the signal is high enough, you don't know what you're taking. Who knows if they can send a beam down from a satellite to turn something on in you that you have been so asleep to, that you have been made comfortable and settled with, and now something clicks in your mind. Like he said earlier, they would put people in comas for 3 months, wake them up, and they would think that the doctors that were absolutely doing these things to them were their parents. That they didn't know who anyone was or who they were. Their mind was erased, and then they are then made into basically a machine guided by these signals, these frequencies. Because what are our brains? They're frequencies. What are all we are is water, and what are we, like 70% water, and we're like what electrons, and we're electricity and water and all this stuff. Not even that much. We're not made up of much, and we're basically antennas for these frequencies. We're all frequencies. There are high frequencies, low frequencies. There are negative frequencies. There are positive frequencies. So we really need, I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I'm not trying to sway you in any specific way. I am telling you that I know this to be true, and me and a very close friend of mine have researched this for a very long time, and it is coming out in so much truth is breaking my brain, to be honest. I'm so overwhelmed with this, and it's so incredible. I'm so passionate about this, and I can't get over it. This is so incredible. I think we're really on a journey to enlightenment. I think we're on a path to waking a lot of people up, and it all starts with Q and our president and our military. Why was the BlackBerry destroyed? Because it doesn't carry that signal, I believe. I believe there's something within these phones. If you look into Thomas Paine and what he talks about, he can send you in the right direction with this. The BlackBerry was destroyed, I believe, because it doesn't have what these Apples and Samsung and Google phones have in them. Maybe it's a frequency or a device, a tracking device. I believe that's what it is. It's tracking device, I believe. We can guide you, but most organically uncover the truth. They are watching, archive everything offline. Yeah, I mean, we all have to just move forward on our own with a little help from them. Why is everything really made in China? Cost savings? Why is President of the United States focused on Saudi Arabia, China, and Russia? Why? Why is Russia being used against POTUS? Why Russia? What damage can Russia do? What damage can Russia do to Dems? What damage can China do to Dems? Okay, because Russia and China know everything about the deep state. They know everything about Obama, the Clintons, the Bushes, Podestas, all of these evil people. They can throw them under the bus at the snap of a finger. That's why the amount of damage, 100% damage, they can do to the Dems. Iran, North Korea. Why does Hussein travel before or after POTUS? Reference foreign trips. He's going behind POTUS because he's basically reassuring himself that these people that he talks to are still in line with him, and I guarantee you they're bluffing him. There's no way that these people are getting back with a communist CIA deep state goon who pretended to be a leader to the African American census of this country. He is a very bad person. Possibly, I 100% agree that he's a Muslim. He's not even American. Okay, so foreign trips, use logic. Why is POTUS focused on bringing back manufacturing, jobs, security, control, true control? Who can you trust? He's bringing back all these things because he needs the entirety of control. He has to have control, because if you don't have 100% control, then these people can slip through the cracks, get back into China and Russia and North Korea, and then start this whole thing again. This process of overturning the global construct of morality. He has to have total control, the military too. Again, Trump is just the front person, but this is the military going at this also. A lot of military intelligence. Who can you trust? The world is not how you view it. Trust the plan. We are winning. I know the world is not how you view it, but I'm not going to get into that. Trust the plan. We are winning. Arrest will come. Logic should answer why it must follow other. You can't have these mass arrests right off the bat like that, because again, you have to get all your ducks in a row and get all of these people arrested, indicted, and put into prison and know where they are at before you move forward. This is a very strategic step-by-step plan that we've got to get over this eagerness to jump the gun. We've got to get off of that. I am guilty of it too. Trust me. We've provided many proofs that cannot be disputed as coincidences. This was done for a reason. More will be provided. Direct confirmation will come. It cannot come now. It will be lost. That is what I just said. They have got to get their ducks in a row, or the whole thing can go to shit. Okay? The whole thing can collapse if they do not do this perfectly. They have to do it so carefully that if they do not, it can all crumble in their hands and we're just back to where we were. So, Godspeed to them, right? The message is not ready. You are part of the army. We are depending on you for God and country. Where we go one, we go all. Stay safe this week. Okay, so Anon said, basically just reposted what he put, and then Q responded, Consumer Protection Agency, Senator Warren, corruption filtration slush fund, goodbye. So basically all these things are slush funds. All these corporations, these charities, these millionaires, these foundations, all of this garbage is slush funds, and they have to eradicate it. So we can look up, we'll make it quick, Senator Warren. Senator Warren hits back at Trump use of Pocahontas vows to highlight Native Americans. Elizabeth Warren, Jesus. Yeah, she's a waste. I don't want to waste my time on that, or your time. So we'll go to the top. I guess this is are we done? Is this it? Wow, we're done. Okay, so let me hop into one more thing really quick. I was going to say that the whole thing about the false flags, what I wanted to say was that the Florida shooting was absolutely real. I have proof it was real, and I cannot share it with you, but I saw a video of horrific things that it really did take place. But did you not notice that it completely overtook the media from the NSA attack? I went over that in yesterday's podcast if you want to look into that, but trust me, that was a motive, and 17 people died just to cover up something that happened at the NSA. I believe that someone was trying to flee that place and it had to be covered up. So let's MK Ultra, let's turn on that signal, and let's send this kid into this high school, and let's start the distraction. Am I right? So I went over the Q posts. I appreciate all the subscriptions. If you find that this was informative and you enjoyed it, please subscribe. I will check in with you guys probably tomorrow. We're going to have to look for more decoding of this, but I think I did a pretty good job for you guys. If you have questions or anything, just leave me feedback, and I'll get back to you guys. So I hope you guys have a great Thursday night, and tomorrow's Friday for y'all. Some of us is already Friday. So I'll talk to y'all later. All right.